Horry County Solid Waste Authority Board for December 10th, 2020 to order. First order of business is the invocation, which I will give and lead, and then the Pledge of Allegiance if Sam would lead us in the pledge. Will you all please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. Thank you for the year that we've had here at the Solid Waste Authority. 2020 has been full of trials and tribulations, but this authority has persevered. Thank you for that. On our hearts is concern for board member Carlisle Berry and his wife who are suffering with COVID virus. Please have special mercies on them and help them through to full recovery. We thank you again for how you've blessed us. Please have this meeting be conducted in a manner that pleases you. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Is there a motion to approve our agenda?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comment? Not hearing any. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any. That's unanimous. Approval of minutes. It's in your package. Anyone propose any alterations to those minutes as presented? Not hearing any. Is there a motion to approve them as prepared?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any. Unanimous. Thank you. We have special presentations today. The first is to Ron Hall, who could not be with here today, that we're honoring as Employee of the Year. But we do have Jasper Stalby. Jasper, if you come forward. Jasper, congratulations for being an Employee of the Year. I'm going to give you a fist bump.
That's fine, sir.
I'm going to ask all the board if you'll stand so we can take a picture of us together. Kendra, the best position to get us all in the frame. Mr. Hughes, Danny, if you'll join us over here.
I have a short guy standing in the front. Okay, I'll get my position there.
We want to congratulate you for being Employee of the Year. This has been a trying year for us, and everyone's been making special efforts. We want to thank you for an outstanding job that you've done.
I thank each and every one of you.
Yes, sir.
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, before everyone gets seated, thank you so much. I'm going to ask Rodney to stand up here, but we also want to have him pictured with the board. Rodney, we honored you in October for your 30 years plus of service. We want to bring you back because one thing, we didn't have your pen for you when you came, but we also have something else to honor you with. That also wasn't prepared at that time that we want to honor you with. It's important for us to go back to our past. You were one of the first employees to join the Solid Waste Authority, and that's worthy of special recognition. That's why we brought you back, and we have a plaque we want to honor you with. Which contains the following resolution. A resolution to recognize Mr. Rodney Cannon for 30 years of service to Horry County Solid Waste Authority, Inc. Whereas Mr. Rodney Cannon has been with the Solid Waste Authority for 30 years and continues his employment. And whereas his dedication to the mission of the Solid Waste Authority to reduce, reuse, and recycle has shown throughout his 30 years tenure. And whereas he was recognized as Employee of the Year with the Solid Waste Authority in 1998 and 2004. Now therefore be it resolved, the Solid Waste Authority recognized Mr. Rodney Cannon for his 30 years of exemplary continual service and is so resolved on this 10th day of December, 2020. Can I have a motion to adopt this
So
resolution? Is there a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations.
All right, look at me, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. Yay. Good God. Y'all people are beautiful.
Thank you, Ken. Rodney,
Yes, I can.
thank you for
Gotta
joining
go.
us.
One idea one.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to recognize employees for their service. We had no applications for public input, so we have no one at this time. Did you have anything brief to say, Amelia? Merry Christmas to you. Departmental reports, recycling and corporate affairs. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to start on behalf of Miss Esther to thank everyone for their prayers, calls, and texts during her time of surgery and now time of recovery.
Recovery, yes.
And she would like to ask that each one continue to remember her as she recovers. So thanks to each one of y'all for the prayers and concern. Rounding to the Greens update. SBA will be participating in with the city of North Myrtle Beach and the city of Myrtle Beach this year, partnering with this campaign. Advertisements for the program will begin December 10th, that's today. And they will be televised on all our local channels starting today. Collection of trees will begin December 26th and go through the end of January 21. We've got 3 drop-off locations, curbside in the cities, all recycling centers in the municipalities, and then, of course, here at the landfill. Everybody's got the brochure in their packet. If you need to know the drop-off centers, they're all on that brochure. I think there's 2 in North Myrtle Beach. There's 1 drop-off for the city residents in Myrtle Beach. That's at 10th Avenue, here at the transfer station. So North Myrtle Beach will be paying a contractor to grind their trees. And the residents there will be able to go back to that location and pick their grindings up if they want something. Okay? Next, we've got the Cock Green-Handed update for the month of November. Staff recognized Mr. Robert Days as the Cock Green-Handed recipient for the prize pack for recycling at the center. He was very surprised and happy, as you can see in the picture. Will be recognized and get this prize. So, it's really interesting when you walk up to people in the centers and recognize them, the way they react. So this is a good thing, and I appreciate y'all allowing us to do this. It's fun to be able to go out and recognize them and see their reactions. And also it helps, promote recycling. So that's the main thing. 2020 holiday schedule for Christmas, New Year's. Everybody's got a copy of that in your packet. If you need to know anything about the hours, operation hours are closed. All cities are closed the 24th, the 25th, and the 1st of January. That's Christmas Day and New Year's. And all the other scheduled hours of operation is on that page in your packet. And that's the page on the screen there. One other thing, Christmas parade, Conway Christmas parade will be this Saturday. It'll start at 10 a.m. in the morning. Chamber of Commerce, City Chamber has asked that everybody that attends please be masked and social distance. It will be televised live on, I think it's HT Channel 9. It'll be live. And then they'll replay it, along throughout the year. And we will have our own Kendra, I don't know if she's in here. She'll be in the parade, and our recycling buddy, Bruce, he'll be with her in the parade.
And we're gonna be in a vehicle and they're gonna have appropriate distancing.
Right,
So we shouldn't need to have concern for their welfare.
that's right. And I'm sure in the vehicle, we'll wear a mask, so. If anybody interested in going or watching, it will be on TV or you can go live.
That'd be the best way to participate. Thank you.
Any questions on anything I went over? Right, thank y'all.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Wayne. We appreciate it. And next report is Finance and Administration.
It'll be very brief, as you can tell from the report. I don't have any financial reports.
We're meeting a little early this month.
I know, we meet early, so therefore I don't have time to get everything put together. So we will have financial reports for you next month. I was also scheduled to give you an update today on, of course, the budget retreat that they were
That
having
didn't
in the
happen,
county.
did
That they didn't have. So I don't have much to give you there, of course. They were going to do first reading on a budget amendment. So I'd hope that maybe we would have that in place. I think it's still gonna hopefully maybe move forward when they have their budget retreat in January. So
It's currently scheduled for January
January 15th as of now.
15th.
So hopefully I'll have a little bit more information for you then. Of course, I had contacted all the municipalities to make sure that they were aware that in our budget amendment, there would be a tipping fee increase. They were all aware of it. They were all,
And we didn't get any negative responses?
not
to
one
that?
bit, no, so they were all prepared for it. They had already
In
built
fact,
it.
in the past, they've asked us to step increases, so they're not surprised with large increases.
No, they had already built into their budgets the tipping fee increase, and they were thankful that they've had 6 months with no tipping fee increase, so, so they're all well prepared for it, so, hopefully, like I said, I'll have some more information for you next month, and like I said, I just wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a safe one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We do have some documents at the end of our package. Are we going to need to?
Financial assurance, yes, sir, I'll go over that
We'll go over
over
that when we get to that
new
report.
business, yes, sir.
So don't leave us.
Okay, yes, ma'am,
Do you know they're going to be having the budget retreat?
January 15th.
Where?
At the county. I don't know if they've set where, the location, one time they were talking about doing it actually in the chambers, because I think the council members felt like it was just better for them to be able to space out,
Yeah.
so I think that's what the plan is anyway.
Okay.
But I'll give you more information when they kind of get everything concreted in place.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If you remember, in this year's budget, we had recommended tipping fee increases. And we got in touch with all the cities and explained, and they, as Jen said, has added that to their budget. They've been collecting it all along. And the ordinance states that our tipping fees will go up to what we had recommended, so, that will.
That will be automatic?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for making that clear.
In their readings, and they're finish that ordinance, it'll be part of it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Operations and planning, Mr. Besson.
These afternoon meetings, great.
Yes.
Wanted to give a little, update. Landfill, as y'all can remember, we, y'all gave us some money back, we asked for some money to refurbish an existing Al-John. Last time I had an A-John, we got an Al-John. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now.
Had a little egg on
This was done by our shop. We did outsource the painting of it.
it. It looks brand
The other
new.
things, we totally rebuilt it. This thing's got a new engine in it, new drive motors, new wheels, everything's new on it. So it's just like if Al John had rebuilt it. So,
And I like that you did it at less cost than a new Alabama.
$175,000.
Yes.
So, if we buy that machine today, you're looking $650. So, we think we've done pretty good in-house. Took us a while. I mean, we've been working on it about 8-9 months now, but as we had the time and the ability to do it, we've done it. But, I want to say thank you to the board for allowing us to do that. I think we saved money and we got a machine that's gonna last 3 or 4 years. Doing well. Also, on the landfill, we're moving forward with the construction projects, and they're going well. We have the other contract out to bid, the second part, which is the bridge part now, is due back in on the 17th, and we've had, my days it's been week is, it's been week and a half has been, showing contractors around, so we've had a lot of interest in that.
What's the bid list up to?
16 people right now who actually showed up at this meeting, and I believe all 16 of them have been out here. You got a contractor and a bridge contractor.
Right.
So both of them's coming to look at the project. So we're definitely moving forward with that, and those are due back in the 17th, so, we'll have those done on the 17th. Any questions on any of that?
Thank you, Mike.
One thing
Go ahead.
that I would like for the board to know, Mr. Besant is basically giving you in-depth overview of what our operations meeting was. And I'm gonna touch on some of that, but he's giving you a much more in-depth of everything that we talked on, so you might want to, make sure and ask him any questions. If there are, we can bring him back up here, but I'm gonna go over some of it. But he's doing in-depth of what we talked
Did
about.
you bring the tape that you had that you presented to the operations committee that we can show?
I'll be able to do that.
Okay.
We will have one at the board meeting, because you'll be able to tell more, because you'll be able to tell where the bridge is crossing, and everything with that thing with the next one. So I wanted to do it at the next committee meeting, and then we show the full camera together, and you'll see the full thing at that point.
Okay, the next meeting of operations committee is anticipated for January. So that would be our January board meeting that you will have a presentation ready in 2 weeks? Okay. Our next meeting, we'll have the full presentation. Thank you.
And in the committee meeting, you can see.
The progress.
Yeah, and if you look at your board packet, it has all where we're at today. We'll have another one of those sheets to present to the committee and to the next.
We're anticipating that to be the 13th at 2:30?
13th at 2:30 is what the anticipation
So any of the
is.
board members who wish can attend.
Right, anybody is certainly welcome to come and, sit here and watch that committee meeting with us.
What we've got here is just, we got a compressed time frame from last meeting to now, and it's sort of crunched everything together. So it's been hard to kind of get everything to move forward.
Very well then.
It's all the projects going well. We're filling in. We've got probably 10 or 15% of the road done. We did get when we were digging back there, we did create a little bit of odor. We did get an odor complaint. I had notified DHEC in advance that it was going to happen. So it wasn't a big deal with that. And we got an inspection Monday, unannounced inspection on Monday. That's when they told me that they had got an odor complaint, which I had already warned them that one was coming, because where we were digging at was going to create some odor.
Most of the inclement weather we've had has been night and weekend. Have we had any lost days yet?
One
That was fortunate they landed when they did.
one rain day so far. But everything seems to be moving real well. Our update. So we are, Murph's done good the month of November. We've seen a 5.74% increase over 2019 numbers. And so we've seen some increase there. We've also seen a large increase in pricing for paper products. As a newspaper has gone up almost cardboard's gone up almost $30 a ton from the prior month. I made a decision 2 weeks ago to quit making clean paper. Price of mixed paper, which is a little newspaper with a little bit of cardboard stuff in it, and any other types of paper, the price went up on it so high. It was costing me more labor to generate clean paper. So I got rid of some temporary employees, started making mixed paper.
Is this being used to make cardboard, do you think?
Make pulp paper to carry it out to the thing. A lot of
Seasonally, they're making boxes.
A lot of the U.S. mills are switching to making paper pulp and shipping it overseas.
It's pulp.
Right. There is some volatility coming in the paper market because January 1st, China will no longer accept zero paper. Zero bale paper, so we will never sell to China again come January 1st. So if it ain't pulp, no, if they already cleaned and made here and sent to them, they ain't happening. So it's gonna put a volatile in the market in January.
Are we gonna have more of a demand then for the mixed paper than for?
Yeah. But I made a decision to switch to strictly mixed paper by law. I got to looking at the numbers and the cost of doing it. The money just wasn't there.
Wasn't justified.
So I think let's get rid of some employees. And by having temp labor, we were able to do that, reduce the workforce.
Not having to separate it.
And it may pay off a lot better. So we have some good, we are having, there's a couple mills opened up, one here in South Georgia. It's taking scrap plastics. But there's been a bidding war over scrap plastic. You remember, that's one of the things sometimes we have to stack out in the middle of the field for month to month to month. So there's sort of a bidding war going on over it right now. So we're selling currently scrap plastic, which couldn't even get rid of it 8 months ago, for almost $60 a ton.
Are they making pellets out of it?
Making pellets. And we're getting a good market out of our paint buckets coming from the SW6 buildings, trash cans, and that type of plastic. We're getting a good market. That's running about $250 a ton.
What are they doing with the pellets?
We're making plastic bumpers and stuff like
Okay.
that. Got one man want me to guarantee him for a year for 3 through 7s, which is your tubs, lids, those kind of things. Wants me to guarantee it, all of it going to him, and I sort of refused to do that because the bid market is more than he's offering for 12 months.
It is.
I'm not real keen on getting into long-term contracts with people. Any more questions on that? Driver of the month, George Murphy. I don't think he's no relation to Esther Murphy. Works with Waste Management. But anyway, he works with Waste Management, that's his chose on the different landfill chose for driver of the month. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Mike. Executive Director, Mr. Knight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Starts on page 28. The first thing is, talking about the Association of Counties, and I've put right much material in here about the process that the Association of Counties goes through to come up with their legislative list for the year. It's pretty much in depth. Steve and his group sat in on, I guess, 3 virtual meetings with the Association of Counties, and they approved their slate of last week.
Thank you for your participation, Mr. Gosnell.
And on page 28, you can see some of the bullet points that was in it. Plastic bag ban against any legislative that would create the county's ability to ban things, electronic waste. That is one of their legislative things for the upcoming year, and that I've worked that for a year to make sure that.
Thank you for putting that front and center before that, Dan.
Solid waste, flow control, waste energy. Now, they did step up and increased, they'd go along with, instead of 600 tons per day, they would go along with 3,000 tons per day, and some waste energy plant, some places got them jazzed up a little bit. But the kicker, you can't bring out-of-state waste in to make the 3,000 tons a day.
I saw that.
You got to have 3,000 tons a day to make a solid waste energy plant work.
But they can't use out-of-state waste to achieve that.
But now, you just better not trust that with interstate commerce and all that kind of stuff goes on.
We'll need to watch that as it
And I
goes
know when
through.
we were down there with flow control, They tried to do this once before, York County, somebody in York County was gonna set one up to take Mecklenburg waste in, Charlotte waste in. And I've never seen so many green t-shirts in the lobby in my life, with the upstate group and conservation groups and stuff like that, but electronics is on that guy, on that program. Now, page 47 and 48 and 9, you'll see a letter that David Hyatt, who's the chairman of the Ag, Natural Resources Environmental Affairs Committee, is sent to DHEC about the Electronics Act, and it's on sunset at the end of 2021. And it's a pretty direct letter to DHEC.
I'd like to call out Representative William Bailey, who's been instrumental in this.
Yeah.
Well done.
And my understanding now, he has gone to the Judicial Committee, and he won't be on this committee yet, but he's worked on it well enough that I think he'll be active in that process. But, it's in DHEC hand now, and all we can do now is, add to it and try to do anything we can do. Mike and I pledged support that if they set up a committee like they generally do, that we'd be more than happy to serve on it, if it benefits them getting something done. Page 50, I've learned a lot about cemeteries over the last 60 days. We started getting complaints, and I think some of y'all got complaints from the people that lived on Mill Hill over here, our neighbors. I had two people pretty much living in the cemetery, and they thought we owned it, and I met with them, talked to the sheriff to get some of the group together for me, or get some names for me. And I think we've got everything solved, with the cemetery. In your packet, Stan Barnett has written 3 or 4 pages, about what we can do and can't do with cemeteries. We pulled the state law, talked to Lou Conklin with the planning department, but she manages the cemetery program with the county. State law sets up that if you buy 1,000 acres of property and you find out later on there's a cemetery on it, there's state law that says that you got people buried there, or you want to do archaeological, you give the landowner 30 days notice, he'll get back within 30 days to allow you to go when he will allow you to go. And what I would like to do is go ahead and restrict. We got about a half a mile of road that gets to that 1 acre that the Tompkins Family Trust owns. And what I would like to do is restrict the time that people can use that road from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 o'clock the next morning.
We have the right to do that. We're the owner,
Yeah.
but we're granted the easement.
And this is the signage that we will put up. We got a phone number on there that if anybody wants to deviate from this time frame, call us, and we can work that out. We'll put a camera back there to just make sure that, one of the family members is not camped out, as he has done in the past. We can restrict the road,
How many graves is better?
probably 75. And it's active, it's active, I mean, it's not shoddy looking, they maintain it. Now, the fence is all, not on the lines, hog wire, one, and another one runs So what I wanna do is go ahead and we got funding, we can put up a new green or black chain link fence around it with a gate, to where we know exactly where the property lines are.
That would be beneficial for them as well.
Yeah. And I've talked to, the big voice in the family about this time restriction, and he said, you consider that done. I said, do you want me to contact any more of the family and talk with them? He said, nope, I'll handle that. It's a done deal. So they're okay with the restrictions. I've talked to the South Carolina Graveyard Association, Cemetery Association, and they say that most graveyards across the state is from sunrise to sunset. But I don't want to, sunset, Christmas Day is different from sunset July 4th. Some of y'all remember the liquor stores used to close at sunset in South Carolina, and that damn rains it. But we shut down at 5, and we close it at 4. We got a grace period there, of hours, if anybody needs to talk to us about it. We're back at open office at 8 o'clock in the morning, so 9 o'clock, I think gives them plenty of time to visit. If they want to do a candlelight service or some service in the graveyard, then we can coordinate that by phone call.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, we allow Danny to move forward with this.
Is the fence gonna be around the graveyard,
Yeah.
outlining the property? And there'll be a gate at the road?
Yeah.
Will there be another gate earlier down the road to keep anybody from coming up and down that road?
Now, what I intend to do is go back towards the paved road, put some bump out where, put the sign up there that is restricted, where they can turn around and come out. There'll be another turnaround at the gate. If somebody gets in there, they can come out. But any other time between these times, as it says, will be reported as trespassing. And we'll have game cameras up that we can, they'll call us if somebody's on the road. Shouldn't be nobody be in a graveyard at 12 o'clock at night. That's what's been worrying the neighbors, that they traffic in and out, which I haven't heard of a service over there.
Motion was made. Was there a second on that motion?
Second.
I got a question.
Motion been made and second. No further discussion. Go ahead.
Before you go to, I got a question. The people that were living in there, are they out of there now, or they're out?
They're gone. The guy that I've been talking to told the boy that, I'm gonna give you a week to get your stuff out. If it's not, I'm gonna take my front end loader and dump truck and I'm gonna move it for you.
He had that much stuff in there?
Yeah, it was just stuff he'd fill out, and yeah, he had,
And the dog.
and had two bulldogs.
Oh,
So they gone, people's gone. But I think we've solved most of the problems.
Do we want the responsibility of opening it up every day, or?
No, we
or
not.
Put the chain and lock on and give them a key?
No.
And
We-
put our number on
We don't want to have to open and shut a gate every
it? Just
day.
give your head family man a key and let him manage it.
And they can put the lock on their gate.
I got you.
Ours will be open,
Yeah,
restricted by this sign,
yeah.
and I think that'll serve us well. Now, if that don't work out, then we'll come up with something else.
Sure.
A motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, this has been going on for 14, 15 years.
So it needs
This
to be.
is not new. He's not the same resident, but there's been people living there.
This is the same boy.
It's just, what happened to the crazy old man that used to come over, the same one? He's been living there 12, 14 years.
And his great,
Yeah, he's had a tent, he's had a little pull-in trailer, he built a cardboard house.
his granddaddy was to the Burson College Company, signed to him as a trustee. So he's been in line of, he thinks control, but the family's got involved now. And we, I think we got a better handle on it now with y'all's approval of this than we have in the past.
Yeah, he used to climb the fence and come visit us. And, he's interesting. He'll talk to you and he'll talk if you ain't there.
Very creative gentleman.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Got the United Way fundraisers that we can draw. We sold all the tickets. Crystal's been in charge of timeshare sales.
The timeshare sales.
We raised $620, and then we had another donation, so it's $640.
And our goal was 600, so we
Yes.
surpassed the goal.
Yes.
I'm gonna let Ms. Pam do the drawing, she loves doing this. Sorry about that, I thought it was a pass through. There you go. And Esther Murphy. She said you better make sure my name is in there.
Tell her that was all me, Cecil.
Okay.
She always, Esther always wins this, pull Esther.
Outstanding.
Any other names in there?
And she'll need it after her recuperation.
Ms. Fab, it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to, it's the last meeting of the year, the annual year, January to December. I'd love to read over a list of accomplished things that we've accomplished this year. And I think, you'll recognize all of them. In the electronics, some of the board visited a plant in North Carolina. We did the disposal of the electronics. Board review, we added things to the contract and the company signed it. And, it's gonna save Steve's budget right much money this coming year. Hopefully they can turn that money back into the to the centers, and expand those that need to be expanded or equipment. Electronic contract, as we said, DX got a letter from the Ag Committee. Association of Counties has got electronics on their board. The scale house was a renovation there, and we've added express lanes and computer systems there to get people out quicker. The MRF, we renovated or rebuilt the MRF. A lot of work done with in-house people, painting and stuff like that. We didn't lose any days. We didn't have to landfill any of the material. We bailed the stuff and broke most of the back once we got back up and pulled all the stuff out. The store, built a new building. Dedication at the grand reopening. Removed the old house next to it that was still repaired. Equipment, you saw the picture of the Aljon, we refurbished the compactor in-house. We also rebuilt, which was a new way of doing business with us, with warranties. Bought the electric bulldozer. Renovated the park room, which it's a lot better, more serviceable. Piggyback 3, management plan was finally adopted by county council. Bridge permit, the DX permit, stormwater permit. First phase of construction bid is underway, under budget. Second phase bids are out now. They due back the 17th, week from today. Impact fees on the county side, Esther and her group develop the budget and priorities for it, possible impact fee funding, which, he's got a job getting that approved. Cemetery, that we'll have a lot of telephone calls and legwork, but I think we've got a better handle on that now. Grandstone Water and Sewer is gonna install a new 6-inch line to the leachate plant tank, on their dime. Stephanie's crowd in Jasper cleaned the leachate tanks out with the help of Elvis, company from the beach. The two detention ponds was upgraded by outside contractor. The virus, I think we managed that pretty well. I think one of the best things we did was hire outside consultant nurse to help us get through the processes
And that skills.
and in addition, I think we try to stay on top of it. Mike's got a mister that he runs the equipment. It's a fogging machine, basically. We're fogged offices here on schedule. The equipment, Murph, morning and night, with the fogger there. We're trying to stay in front of the coronavirus. Green Sword with the prices on the recyclables down, prices. We worked to clean it up where we could sell, and we've been selling. Prices just not the same, but you heard comment from Mike that those prices, some are going up. Tipping fees in our budget was the same as we had last year, and we recommended in the budget. We held the old tipping fees at the request of the county, and they weren't gonna raise anything, so we didn't. But hopefully, that'll be changed in the next month or so. B&D Recycling, Mike said, a much higher tonnage processing goal over there than we had. And, the new directions at Scale House, just, we direct where they go instead of them choosing where they want to go. And the reason with that, the truck drivers get paid by the hour. The tipping fee goes to the main office and they pay it. Most of the guys that's paying the bill and driving the truck will fight you to go and save that $5 a ton incentive at the number 6 building, so that's working better. But that's some of the accomplishments y'all made this year. Your budget and your support and our staff doing the work, and they all just, they just make it work.
Danny, his accomplishments, hearing them once again only instills in me just the faith I have in the staff that we have. The winners are the residents of the county. But we're meeting, in spite of how challenging 2020 has been, we're meeting all our budgetary levels that we've established in spite of it. And I'd like to stand up and thank all of you. Thank you.
And I think you saw the report, the last financial report, we in front of the percentage that we should be at on our income. Some of the expenses at the MERC is a little bit more than the income, but it's gained. But it's the space we're saving back here offset greatly that expense, so.
We're meeting those targets in spite of it. Yeah, thank you so much. Terrific report. Thank you, sir. Any requests for additional information from Danny Knight? Not hearing any, we'll move to committee reports. We had one committee meet this past month, Operations and Planning Committee Chairman Pam Creech has a report.
Okay. I would like to say that Mr. Knight and Mr. Besant has pretty well explained just about everything that went on our committee, so, I'm gonna touch on the high spots, and if you have thought of any questions you'd like to ask them when we get through, that would be great. As they said, we're planning to do our next meeting January the 13th at 2:30, so if there's anyone here has anything they would like to talk with me about putting on that, or if they would like to attend, they're certainly welcome to do so. Mr. Besant gave the update on the C&D landfill construction. We did have a video that we watched. Everything seems to be going well at the moment. We were pleased with the progress on the Barra area and number 5. And I was also, from being in that kind of background, pleased that the timber was sold per ton per type. I think that's the best way to sell timber, and I'm glad that that was done that way. Bids for the project, second project was due it's going to be due December the 17th. That discussion will be on our meeting in January. I thought it was good that we had approximately 15 contractors that were interested. I think that's always in the Solid Waste Authority's best interest. The more people that are interested in that and that bid on that, and the diversity that comes with that. Are there any questions about that you didn't get from Mr. Besant's presentation, or anything else that you would like to ask or discuss where that was concerned? Okay, we'll go on to the Santee Cooper Green Power contract that we have had with them for quite some time. The staff for the last few months have been researching that, looking into it, and at the moment, with different things going on with Santee Cooper in Columbia, what we have decided when we looked at it in the meeting and what the staff recommended was that we grant the executive director permission to sign a 1-year contract extension with Santee Cooper the way it is today, with the option to extend the agreement in 1-year increments. Mr. Knight, is there anything you'd like to say about that? Okay, there's been a lot of extensive research and things coming about, but until there are some decisions made in Columbia, we're kind of at a standstill, but we still need to continue to do this with them and to have that project. So that's one thing that we need to have put in the form of a motion. Mr. Berry is not here. Okay, thank you. We have a motion to grant the executive director permission to sign a 1-year contract extension with Santee Cooper with the option to extend the
Is there a second
agreement.
on that motion?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further comment? I'd like to comment that I was glad to hear that Santee Cooper's still enthused to work with us on this project. What we're not certain about is their ongoing status. That's why 1-year increments make sense at this point, but no one is interested in ending this relationship. We'd like to continue it. The question is, how would we expand it in the future, not how would we limit it in the future. So this is a positive outgrowth. 1 year gives us more time to determine additional incentives and additional directions we may want to go with this, and also allows us time to understand what the future outlook is for Santee Cooper as an ongoing concern. Is there any further comment on this contract? Not hearing, is there all in favor of continuing this for additional year with opportunities to expand it year by year? Please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, the next thing I wanted to discuss, we got an update on the electronics, which we just did again from Mr. Knight today, and where that is and the contract we've signed. If there are any questions, I would certainly answer those. If not, I would like to say that this whole electronics deal, as Mr. Knight knows, and some of the other board members, when we had to go through that process, was extremely frustrating to me. I was not very happy when all of that came out, and I did tell Mr. Knight I would like for us to do everything possible that we could do to see that that didn't ever happen again. And congratulations, I think you and Mr. Besant have handled that. I like the contract, I think it was great. Mr. Jones, I appreciate the wording you came up with, for the lawyers that worked out, that really protects us. And the savings that you have, extracted is absolutely amazing. I'm amazed, I'm proud of the fact that happened throughout the process we've done and what you've done. And of course, it benefits the cities and the counties, and to me, as far as I'm concerned, that it benefits the taxpayer. And I think those are things that we should do and look at in everything that we do. And Mr. Gosnell, if you have any, I'm sure Mr. Knight kept you apprised of all that. If you have any comments or questions, or I'm sure he asked for your input before, but I'm hoping that you're happy with the outcome of that as well.
We are. Don't have anything more to add. Appreciate Danny including us, and we worked well together for a year or two, I think, so.
Yeah. I think that worked out really marvelously. For Fund 6 particularly, that's great.
The committee's done an excellent job driving this issue. It's made progress every single month since the committee began its focus on it in June.
And I'm hoping with what we were working with at the State House, that's going to get even better in the future. So I appreciate the work you're doing in the State House and in the county with all the Association of Counties and our lobbyists. I'll have to give him a pat on the back for being proactive. He has earned his money this year, in my
And for
opinion.
once, we have an ag chair that's writing a positive letter to DHEC on it.
Exactly.
She's supportive to us.
Exactly,
And so we really are in a good place right now and do hope
yeah.
to see further progress.
So that's where we were with the electronics. The next thing was the Sterrett Swamp Cemetery, and I think Mr. Knight went over that when he was talking with you about it, and I'm really I'm sorry that all of this has been going on, it's happened. I'm sorry it upset the community, but I'm certainly glad that you got to the bottom of it and worked out everything that is satisfactory with them. Because where cemeteries are concerned, especially, we need to be a good neighbor and we need to be very respectful of everyone that's involved in that and has a loved one there. So I think you did an excellent job, and I certainly hope this works out. If it doesn't, I'm sure you'll work out something else. That is the end of our committee meeting discussions. If there are any questions,
It
I
was an
would.
outstanding committee meeting. Any questions of Ms. Creech? I'm sorry Carl isn't here. Also, he was instrumental in making sure that we covered those issues adequately. And it will begin, as you announced, when the next meeting is, on the 13th of this coming month. Thank you, Ms. Creech. There is no old business to cover. New business, the first item is our financial assurance documentation. Welcome back, Ms. Biddy.
Yes. As I report every year this time, of course, we are to provide financial assurance to DHEC through some type of mechanism to prove to them, of course, provide information, I should say, to them that we have the financial ability to cover closure and post-closure, as well as if there was to be any kind of spill or leakage or anything, that we have the finances available to handle any of that. We use the local government test, which is what we've used forever, which provides our revenue along with Ward County's revenue. As you can tell in the report at the time, I did not have the county's CAFR. They did complete their CAFR. As a matter of fact, I got a copy of it yesterday. I've got the figures plugged in. I've sent it to our auditor for review. Everything is on point. So I'll be submitting the packet to DHEC tomorrow with the board's approval with what information you have here. We meet all the criteria as we have every year. So like I said, I feel very comfortable with the information. Just need the board's approval to forward this package on to DHEC.
The recommendation is the Horry County Solid Waste Authority Board of Directors accept the letter, the independent auditor's report, and other documentation prepared by staff as required under local government financial test for financial assurance, and authorize the staff to submit the required documentation to SCDHEC. Is there a motion on that recommendation?
Yes, so
Been
moved.
moved and seconded. Any discussion on this recommendation? Not hearing any. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Not hearing any, that is unanimous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Jane. Appreciate the work that goes into this. This is important documentation that we review each year and make sure that we are following the recommended setbacks so that we can afford those projects in the future. Next item under new business is roundtable discussion. As this opportunity for board members to bring up any items that have crossed their attention span this month that they'd like to share with the rest of the board. Anyone have such addition, Carl?
Yeah, something that came to my attention reading my Solid Waste Authority provided iPad was the all the information that we get from SWANA and the what's now called the Old Dominion chapter. It used to be called the Quad States chapter, whatever else. They're having their regional meeting August 24th to 27th, 2021 in Roanoke, Virginia, and they have asked for presentation of a call for presentations and speakers. And on the email that we all received, they had 11 different items mentioned. And as I looked over that 11 items, some of the things that kind of got my attention, where I thought that the Oregon County Solid Waste Authority was a bright shining light in that in some of those subjects, and we might want to consider sharing our wisdom, our knowledge, our intelligence, our expertise with the rest of the people at that at the Old Dominion meeting in August of 2021. And hopefully by that time, it won't be virtual. It'll probably be live and living color, and then we can go to Bull Eye's hometown.
I just brought up Virginia is my hometown. Thank you, Carl. I'll ask staff to look at that and see if there isn't something that we would like to crow about. We know here locally how well we're doing, but it would be nice to be able to tell others some of the strides we've met, because I think a lot of the work that we do bears others to follow.
Yeah, there were a couple of ones that really got my attention. One of them was disaster management, the road that we built, virtually overnight. Some of those other things, the recycling, how our new MRF operation has improved the efficiency and effectiveness. There's several other things there that I think we could share with the rest of the people in this 5-state area, and they might be able to. Socrates made the remark that the statement that a wise man learns from his mistakes. Well, there was another philosopher, his name was Karl Schwarzkopf, and he said, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others because he doesn't have to make them. And I think that might be an opportunity for us to share some of our experience.
Thank you, Carl. While we're on the subject of WasteCon, each of you has at your station WasteCon Tuesday, January 26th, 2021, and Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. And we have the opportunity to participate here virtually. And if you're interested in this, there is a fee to register for this, so let us know if you're interested. One of the topics they're presenting is the future of product stewardship and extended producer responsibility, which is a topic that's near and dear to our hearts. So that's one item that's coming up that may be of interest to you. If you are interested, please let staff know so that we can reserve space to receive the transmission, and we'll hold it here so that you participate in this virtually. So anyone who has an interest in that, please let us know, because it does require prior registration. And $296 is the early bird discount. Do you know, Cecil, what the deadline is for early bird registration?
No.
That is the early bird cost.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, please let us know
I'll
at
be
your
happy to
earliest
make-
convenience, so that we could get that early bird discount.
Probably what we'll do is register one person, and we can all participate. But we'll need a head count because, talk around lunchtime, and we can get a good crowd here, we'll probably have lunch.
The one that's on product stewardship and extended producer responsibility is 3 PM to 3:45 PM on Tuesday, January 26th. The other meeting during disruptive times is at 2, and at 4 is reinventing your organization to respond to COVID. And then on the following day, 2 to 2:45 is smart cities and solid waste. 3 PM is making sense of municipal challenges, and 4 to 4:45 is how to successfully achieve EPA's new 50% recycling goal. They're all worthy topics, but especially product stewardship is something I'd like to hear about. So if you're interested, please let us know. Anything else for the attention of the board? Mr. Knight?
No, sir.
Michael Hughes?
No, sir.
Pam Creech? Paul Schwartzkopf?
Well, I have spoken my piece.
Sam Johnson?
Okay.
Norfolk Jones?
No, sir.
That does then conclude the items on our agenda. Is there anything else that needs to come before us? We do not have a need for executive session today. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Motion's been made and heard. Thank you all so much for your participation this month. I do want to close remembering Carlisle Berry, his wife, and Esther Murphy, that they all recover as expeditiously as possible. Thank you very much, and thank you for a good year.
Thank you.